Right then, as always, we are sponsored by Super Six. Remember, you can download the app, links in the description, and get involved our league. The code is Club23. Remember, Super Six is simple. If you're 18 and over, you can play for free, predict 6 scorelines, get them right, and you could win £250,000. So good. You help us out as well by downloading the app. So get stuck in. And today we're going to discuss, which is quite depressing for me, whether the double treble is possible, Boovie.
I think it is. And I'm not just saying that out of confidence. I'm saying that the standard of play at City is getting better. We have to tighten up defensively. Conceded even against Luton on the weekend, against Palace the week before, obviously against Real Madrid. So our defence has to get better. But we've seen it time and time again. Guardiola knows when to time the form out of certain players. And it wouldn't surprise me if there's a period of form, 4 or 5 games, complete clean sheets. In this run-in. So maybe we should talk about all the games. The next one for City, City, Real Madrid.
Let's start with the league, because I think we're both kind of going the league cities now. They're 2 points clear with 5 or 6 games to go. Arsenal and Liverpool mentally will take those results at their home grounds quite badly against Palace and Villa. So we're kind of saying the league's done, right? And the league's going to head to City.
Yeah,
is that right?
I think
before we talk about the Cup and the Champions League.
Miles on the stream said 80%. I think it's about that. I think that's fair. City have got a chance, especially with semi-finals of Champions League coming up, to potentially drop points and concede cheap goals, potentially. A red card, a major injury, God forbid something happens to Rodri. But City have got some relatively straightforward games. The Spurs game at the penultimate game of the season is the hardest one we've got, in my opinion. But at that point, Arsenal and Liverpool might have dropped more points.
Yeah, I've got Brighton away, which... like over the last few years has been a dodgy game for you, hasn't it?
Yeah.
They've had a few weird results there.
Yeah, we beat them when we got 98 points and just nipped Liverpool to the post, but I think we'll beat them. They're so open defensively.
So we're saying one leg of the treble is done. They'll win the league. Right. The big part of that Champions League, 3-3 in the Bernabeu. I think that result does leave you guys well set up to go through in the second leg, but something about Madrid, isn't there, where you just never can count them out.
But at the Etihad, they got a really poor record. Even when Varane was there during COVID and stuff, we beat them there. And at the Etihad, I'd back City so massively just to keep it tight. Nick it 1-0. Obviously, last year it was 4-0. We're not that kind of form at the moment, but they aren't good. I'm sorry. They had so much time to recover and rest for this game, to show energy, to show, massive confidence in the game. And they're at the Bernabeu and they've drawn 3-3 with a side that have got major injuries. City had a load of injuries. Haaland's out of form. 3-3, and really City could have won the game as well. So I think we'll beat Real Madrid.
They did score 3 goals though, and we saw a number of occasions Rodrigo, Vinicius on the break. Could cause you some problems.
Of course they can. Yeah, they could score. But I think you have to back City across a game, a full game at the Etihad with our record as well in Europe at home is absolutely incredible. And even Perez, I think, came out and said about how the Etihad, we bant about the Etihad, and City fans know more than anyone. It is a bit of a fortress. It's not as big as other stadiums, but the European nights have been steadily getting better as well. So there is an aspect that City cruise past Real Madrid at the Etihad.
And if you get through Real Madrid, you could probably go into a game against Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are at home against Arsenal in the next game.
Yeah.
You feel they're the favourites to edge through. Let's say you play Bayern Munich. How do you feel about that Harry Kane semi-final?
I'm confident against Bayern. We smashed them last season, and it was the harder game was against Real Madrid last season because we beat them comfortably. Rodri scored a beautiful goal on his left foot. Bernardo was fantastic. Erling Haaland scored against Bayern Munich at their stadium as well in Germany. So I think weirdly, if we beat Real Madrid, we're going to win the Champions League.
Is that
crazy?
How simple it is?
Well, the other side of the draw, Atletico can be difficult to play. PSG can hit you on the carrot if they beat Barcelona in the final. I'm talking about Barcelona. I think we beat them in the final. I really do. Dortmund, if they get there, Dortmund in the final.
You're very emotional, because at the moment, this weekend's been good to you. So everything's amazing. We're winning the treble. 2 weeks ago, it was, fucking hell, we're not winning anything.
Yeah, because they had to drop points.
You're very emotional, innit?
But they had to drop points.
But you are quite
I was
emotional.
basing my argument on points. And I can't believe we've seen both Liverpool and Arsenal drop points in these kind of ways early as well. There's 6 games to go. It could have been Arsenal dropping points to Chelsea a little bit later on, or Wolves. But to do it against Villa was completely out of the question, in my opinion. City are now going to have so much confidence off the back of that.
Who do you fear the most out of that side of the draw if you were to get to the final? You got Atletico, Dortmund, Paris, and Barca.
I think PSG. Luis Enrique's won a treble. He's won European silverware. Mbappe.
Difficult, maybe they've got the style that could get you.
Yeah, but we had a game against them 2 years ago.
Simeone would love it as well.
Yeah, Grealish was slagging off Savic. I loved it. A former City player in his own right. The standard isn't there, and it's a shame that the Champions League draws. It should be Real Madrid, Man City in the final, shouldn't it? Really, to get them in the quarters feels a little bit cheap in that regard. But yeah, look, I'm confident about. Look, the FA Cup's a unique thing as well. Chelsea in the FA Cup, difficult.
I think the final in the FA Cup's going to be Man United Chelsea. You know,
do you think?
I've had this weird feeling about it all along. I think I remember saying it to Rory as well. Like, something just tells me that it's going to be United Chelsea final, the mid-off again.
Yeah.
Like, but it just feels like that could, like, Pochettino's going to somehow get a result, and Man United are somehow going to get a result against Coventry.
Yeah.
But like, do you look at that fixture a bit of? Because they've done all right against you this season, haven't they?
Yeah, they did all right. Scored a few against us, Cole Palmer as well. With a game like that, especially at Wembley, if the referee takes out your hands, gives a penalty, injuries, I think City's defence has to improve. I said it at the start of the video, but City's defence last season was far better, far more secure. John Stones was popping into midfield from right back. He's got a bit of a tweak going into the Real Madrid game, so we don't know about that. The left back situation, Gvardiol's getting beaten by some of the Luton players as well. So the back four isn't nearly as settled as last season. Ederson's still unfit as well, which is a bit of an issue. So yeah, I think the defence has to improve massively. But we should, look, if we can't beat Chelsea, we don't deserve to be talking about the treble. Got to beat Chelsea.
But you haven't beat Chelsea this season.
No, but their record at Wembley's shocking, and our record against Chelsea
Their
at
record
Wembley's
at Wembley
amazing.
as a club, though, is fantastic.
Not for 7
Like,
years.
historically, like...
Well, how far back are we going? When are we going to the VHS era?
No, but...
What are we doing? Textbooks and all that?
Like when we talk about the new Wembley, especially, like, they've won the first final there. They beat United.
What year is that? There wasn't even
They did win a lot at Wembley, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, not in the last 7 years.
I've got a feeling for them in that game.
You just want a mid-off so you've got a chance to win. If it's City, Man United again, and by the way, you got Coventry. Good luck playing them.
We'll go to extra time against them, don't worry about that.
But why do you think Coventry will be in the final? Not you, in my opinion. They're playing better than you at the moment. Hard League Championship.
There it is.
The way you're playing, you wouldn't get promoted out of it.
I know. I'd love a season in the Championship, which might be coming very soon if I'm not. So, Booth, let's say the last 3 games of the season, you got City, West Ham. So like they love you, don't they, West Ham? Weirdly, are you lifting the trophy on that day?
I think we lift it potentially earlier. And obviously, you lift it at home in a kind of celebratory way.
Wouldn't it?
But I think there's a world we beat Spurs and win the league title at that point.
Okay, but you're picturing you lift the title against West Ham after that game.
Yeah. We've done it already. We beat them at West Ham.
The Champions League final, will City be in it?
Yeah.
Against? Just predict that bit.
PSG.
Do you win it?
Yeah.
The FA Cup final?
That's the one.
Against
big pitch, hot day,
Man United?
No goal. I think the goals from midfield will count us out. I think no Ilkay Gundogan, no Riyad Mahrez, kind of easy goals. You know where they're coming from. You know that they're going to deliver. Instead, you got Mateus Nunes, who hasn't scored for the club yet. I don't think. Kovacic, I don't think so. That is a world where maybe there's a narrative where you beat us in the cup final, get your revenge, sort of thing.
I've got a feeling there's one of them you don't win, and it's. I think you win the double, and it's the Premier League and the FA Cup. I know I said that. I got a feeling you beat us again in the final, and you win the double. It'll be horrible if you beat us in 2 back-to-back cup finals to go on to a treble. That would be disaster. I'd rather lose to Coventry.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say.
I'd rather. So I don't think you'll win the treble again. Just because of how hard it is to actually win back-to-back Champions Leagues as well.
No, it's ridiculous. It's
really difficult.
We're good enough to, and I'm lucky enough to say as a City fan.
You're good enough.
We're genuinely the best side in Europe.
I mean, can City, is it possible? Of course it is. I'm just hoping more than expectation that somewhere along the line you get knocked out of the Champions League.
Yeah, and the 4 in a row thing as well is a special moment to kind of surpass that record in Premier League history is a beautiful moment for many City fans. We take that talking about double trebles is beyond the joke of dreamland, really, isn't it? 6 trophies, well, more than that, 7 or 8 trophies in 2 years. Come on.
Madness.
It's outrageous.
And 115 charges. That's all I got left. Sorry.
That's okay.
That's all I got left.
No, I don't mind.
Guys, remember, let us know what you think. Will it be a double treble, depressingly? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're good at predicting games, download Super 6, get involved, get your predictions in, because you could win £250,000. It's that easy. Cheers, Booth.
Cheers, mate.